Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am sharing another little life update video with you guys. I know that you guys have been asking me how I'm doing ever since I made the first life update video, I don't know, a couple months ago. I don't know how long it's been, 2 months, whatever. Anyway, I thought I would do another one, kind of giving you an update on my health. And because some of you have asked me, and you asked me to do a video on it. So if you have no idea what I'm even talking about, and you want to know what is going on in my life, then I will link that video down below and you can watch that first. So just a disclaimer here, I do want to mention this is what has worked for me. I am not a doctor. I am not claiming that any of this stuff will help you at all. I don't know. You as an individual person need to go and get your own testing done, do your own research. I am just sharing because you guys have asked me about it. So I'm just sharing what my journey with my doctor has been and how it's helped me. And that I haven't had to take any, I've only been on supplements. I do not take any medications, only supplements, natural supplements. And all of this stuff has helped me. So that's just a disclaimer. Just because I'm doing something and something works for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. Everybody is different. Like everyone's body is completely different and reacts differently to things. That's why, I highly suggest you go see a functional medicine doctor. And yeah, we did have to pay this out of pocket, but it was worth every penny. Me and my husband already decided it has been worth every single penny. I pretty much we waited till we got our taxes back, and that's how we've been able to do it. And then I don't go see him every month, and I just have to kind of drag it out. So it is like a longer healing process. If we had more money, we'd probably just like do everything all at once. But we have to do what we can afford. So it's like a longer process. But I am happy with the results that I have been getting. But pretty much in a nutshell, I go more in depth in that video, but pretty much I was diagnosed with, I started seeing a naturopath doctor. So it's called functional medicine, and they did a huge urine screen. Like they tested more things in my urine than most doctors do. When you go and give a urine sample. And then I also had a huge panel taken for a blood test. So they tested a bunch of different things. And what I have loved about this journey is they're not just gonna say something and then give me like all this medication that's really going to affect me in the long run. Now, I have nothing against medication. I believe that God made doctors, and, there are good doctors out there, but I also have beliefs that there are not so good doctors out there. And yeah, I have a lot of opinions on certain things. My personal story and the way that I view things is because I was put on a lot of medication when I was younger, and I am no longer on any of that medication, and I am doing fine. Now, do I think that medication has a time and a place? Of course, yes. But I was a young teenager when I was put on a lot of these things, and for instance, I was put on antidepressants and all this stuff, and all of this stuff I was put on, and I still tried to commit suicide. And which is crazy because actually it's really not, because they tell you on these pills may cause suicidal thoughts, may cause this, may cause this, may cause this, a whole list of things. Okay. And you can have a totally different opinion, and that's fine with you. Do not go in my comments being mean to me, because I will delete. This is my space and I don't really care. I'm just telling you what I believe and what has happened to me and why I am going down this route instead of normal, or instead of like the way that people normally do. Okay, I am a very natural person. I have come into a natural lifestyle where I get rid of I've gotten rid of lots of chemicals in my house. I try to do things naturally, and that is just because I have researched tons of things, and I don't like to put things in my body that are not good for it and that are harmful for it. So, anyway, I started seeing a functional medicine doctor, and you guys, this has been great. I felt like this is where the Lord was leading me, and I am so thankful. You guys, I am so thankful. God is so good. He is so faithful. Even through when I'm feeling terrible, He is so faithful in that even days that I feel like I just can't get out of bed or I feel terrible, He gives me grace to do it and to keep going and to do it for the most part with a cheerful heart, even though sometimes that is very hard, okay? So I told you guys how I started seeing this doctor. I found out through the screening I have adrenal fatigue. So your adrenal glands are located above your kidneys, and they are very important, okay? If you have adrenal fatigue, it is not good. Like, it is not good. It affects a lot of things. Okay, I'm not very good at explaining things. Like, I know it in my head, and like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to explain things very well, and I don't want to confuse you. So if you really want some great info on adrenal fatigue, I highly recommend you go watch Dr. Berg's video on it. It's short and sweet, and he does this for a living, so he is so good at like unpacking what it is in a short amount of time. So good. So I highly recommend you go watch his video. Or Dr. Josh Axe has a video on that, I'm pretty sure too. And I don't know. There's probably a bunch of people that do, but I really like Dr. Berg because he's very precise to the point, and he writes things down. So I'm a visual person, so I like to see things laid out too. So I like that about him as well. Now, pretty much adrenal fatigue causes anxiety. It can cause, and anytime you're having any type of gut health or anything, you're going to feel it in your brain. So I think I am struggling with gut health too, but because my adrenals are the biggest problem, that's what we're focusing on first, is getting my adrenal glands healed, which is really caused by lack of sleep and stress. And let me tell you, this past few years, I have had lack of sleep because of a toddler. Which, listen, this is so crazy. She was the best sleeper as a newborn, and she slept through the night, even in day 1, up until she turned like 2, and then she went through this sleep regression, and she would not go to sleep and stay asleep, up until recently, and until my husband really helped me, get her back into the routine. Praise God for him, because I really couldn't do it, because I was physically, it was really hurting my body. And I couldn't even function during the day because I had no sleep. So sleep and stress. And then I was going through all these other stressful things. So on top of that, and because my adrenals, because of the lack of sleep, it was causing my anxiety to go up, which causes more stress. So your cortisol level spikes and is crazy. And the way I really liked what they told me, my doctor, and what I've learned from Dr. Berg, is that what happens is we naturally have a fight or flight thing, and we have cortisol in us that we can produce in case, like, we're trying to outrun a bear or something crazy happens and we need that extra boost of energy. Well, for me, because of my health, I'm struggling with like the lack of sleep, which is causing me to have tons of anxiety, and the anxiety is causing me to have like my cortisol levels to go spike high, which causes which in normal people, when you have a fight or flight thing happen, you slowly decrease, and then you're okay, because it's like a once in a so often time that you need this cortisol to go up to give you enough adrenaline, I guess, to help you think in that situation. Well, because of my adrenals, because of lack of sleep and my anxiety, I'm like this all the time, okay? So I'm like constantly in a state of anxiety, and my cortisol level is getting shot, even over the craziest things, you guys. It is nuts, and it's really caused by probably a lack of sleep. And I have been through some stressful things besides my health in these last like 3-ish years, which has caused a lot of these problems. So instead of my body getting a break and coming down and being like, okay, normal, 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 I'm like a spike here. I'm all over the place. And my anxiety, I mean, I could hear my kid crying, and instantly I could feel it. It's so crazy. My anxiety level goes out of the roof just from hearing my kid cry, like a certain cry, like they're hurt. And I automatically just start thinking like the worst, which is another cause of adrenal fatigue. Like, I thought I was crazy, you guys. I'm like, why am I thinking the most craziest things? It is because of adrenal fatigue. And I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. I just really have like a problem in my body that I need to correct. So the biggest things to correct this is to not have so much stress, which is kind of hard, but sleep. And I'm still working on this, okay? But I also am on a lot of supplements as well. And I have to tell you, okay, and I've changed my diet. So the first thing I did was change my diet, and this helped me. I went from feeling like, let's talk in a month, okay? In a month, there's, let's say, 4 weeks in a month. I felt like crap every single day that month. Every week, I felt like crap. I'd have these huge migraines. I couldn't think straight. I feel like I have brain fog all the time. I feel like I couldn't communicate with people. Like, I was stressed out, anxiety, off the wall. It was nuts, okay? Then I started seeing this functional medicine doctor, and they told me to start doing paleo. So I started doing the paleo diet. So I cut out gluten and dairy and sugar. Well, I cut out refined sugars actually. And then he put me on some supplements. And this was before we found out about the adrenal thing. Okay. He put me on some supplements, and then I did the urine test, and then we switched supplements once we found out that it was my adrenal glands. But I'll get to that in a minute. So I once I did the paleo, I felt a lot better. Oh, and I was having, I had a lot of inflammation. So I would have these pains in my legs, in my calf muscles, okay? And I would just be bloated in my calves from water. It was water weight. And it was very painful, but I was like living with this. And it was like, I was living with it for so long that I didn't even remember what it felt like to not feel like this. So I just thought I was crazy for a while. Okay. I really did. I'm like, I must be crazy. Like, I would cry a lot because I just thought I was a crazy person. Okay. Okay. I really thought I was nuts and I was going crazy. Because I would get upset about like crazy things. I would have these outbursts of anger and just like yell at my kids or something. And then I would just go right back and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that. Like, and then I feel bad because I'm like constantly, like, I might lose my temper and yell. And then I'm constantly I always would apologize to them, or I would lose my temper with my husband and just like burst out and get upset with him over nothing. Or I would have these racing thoughts in my head that would just continue, and they would not stop, running crazy thoughts. Like, I don't even know. I would get mad at my husband for something little, and then I would just like turn it into this big stew fest in my brain, and it was crazy. And it wasn't like one of those things that I could just take captive. Like, as the Bible says, take that every thought captive. This was extremely hard for me to do, okay? And it was because of my adrenal glands. It is so crazy how a lot of mental things have to do with your gut and your physical health. Like, if you fix the root problem, your head is going to be clear, okay? I can testify this because you guys, I went from feeling like crap every single day and feeling like so stressed out to now it's only once a week out of a month. Okay, this is huge. This is huge and amazing. But let's backtrack. So I went from feeling like crap every day, okay? Then I did the paleo diet, and I was like feeling better in my like legs. I wasn't having so much brain fog, but I was still having like a lot of anxiety, and just I was still kind of feeling not good. So then I cut out all sugar. I like everything, okay? I was one of those moms who I would just get a little bit anxiety, and I'm in the pantry eating, shoving chocolate chips in my mouth, okay? Which is probably part of the reason why I couldn't lose any of this weight, because I'm shoving chocolate in my mouth all the time. Or I was having like, I was feeling so tired that I would drink 2 cups of coffee a day, which is not a lot for some people, but that's a lot for me. I would drink 2 cups of coffee a day, which was actually worse and more detrimental on my adrenal glands. So I pretty much have cut all caffeine. I have cut all sugars, even honey and maple syrup. I only try to do that every so often. I try to limit as much sugar intake as I can possibly, because it's very detrimental to me right now. And I feel like once I completely have my body healed, I'll be able to slowly start adding things back in, and then just see how it goes. And if it doesn't work good with my body, I'm just not going to have it. Which is something that I've kind of been doing. Like once before, I couldn't eat like any breads or any of that. Now I like might eat it here and there. But like coffee, if I have it consecutively in a couple days, I really, for one, I don't know why, but I get addicted to it really easy, and I want to have 2 cups, and it's caffeinated. I try to drink decaf, which I know the only decaf you should be consuming if you're going to do decaf is Swiss waterpress. Thank God for my friend Lisa who told me this, because usually all the other ones are chemically pressed, so it's not good for you. Whereas the Swiss waterpress is not. They do it in a natural way. Okay, so then he put me on magnesium, which I already knew that I needed that. Okay, that was like one of the first things he put me on, and I noticed a huge difference in my legs, the inflammation in my legs, and yeah, I feel like the magnesium was the biggest help for my the inflammation in my legs. I'll show you all the stuff that I'm taking right now. So I'm taking this magnesium buffet chelate, I don't know, okay, magnesium, and this is the brand I take because this is the brand my doctor put me on. So I'm taking this, and this is amazing. So after we found out about my adrenal glands, I stopped taking some other supplements, which I don't even remember what they were now, but because I've been on these ones that I'm going to share with you for the past few months, and they have been working amazing. I have went from feeling like crap to every day to feeling like crap only the week of, I think the last update I did, I think the update that I shared with you guys, I was only feeling bad 2 weeks out of the month. So 2 weeks I would feel great, and 2 weeks I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to die. And it was very hard for me, and like all of those mood swings and stuff, and all of that crazy feeling, the anxiety was all coming back during those 2 weeks. Okay. Then we found out it was my adrenal glands, and these 2 weeks were leading up to my period. So it's also hormonal things too, because I do have some hormonal imbalance. But like I said, we want to correct and help heal the adrenal glands first, and then we will go on to hormonal stuff, because you kind of do it in steps here. We're trying to heal one thing at a time, and then that way it's not so expensive for me and overwhelming and all of this stuff. We just focus on one thing at a time. What is the worst thing? This is the worst. Then we move on. Okay. Oh, I also forgot. He did also put me on from the beginning. Actually, he put me on a different one before. I don't remember what it's called. It started with a B. But these are to help digestion. I don't know how to pronounce this, okay? Whatever. This is pretty much a enzyme, and I take this with every meal because I don't know if you guys know this, but you're pretty much supposed to go number 2 more than once a day. Ideally, every meal you have, you should be able to go. And I I know TMI, but you guys want to know. So I would go every day, but not multiple times a day. So they put me on this to help me. And I'm feeling that really helps flush your system out too, because you're supposed to be, you know, going number 2 pretty often. So I take this with every meal, or I'm supposed to. Sometimes I forget, obviously, but I try to take this with every meal to help me digest food. I also, per my own thing, am taking a probiotic. He didn't tell me to take this, but I know a lot of good things about probiotics. I'm also, I started making sauerkraut, which is very high in probiotics, and my mother just sent me some kefir grains, so I'm going to be making my own kefir, which is super high in probiotics, and I make my own homemade bone broth, and I've been drinking that too. So I'm trying to also kind of heal my gut as well, and that one is mostly because of my eczema. I feel like once he put me on this adrenal complex, I went from feeling like poop 2 weeks out of the month to now. Okay, he put me on this, and he also put me on omega, okay, an omega-3. This one is actually omega-3, 6, 7, and 9. Okay, this is what this one looks like. And when he put me on this and this, so I take all 4 of these. These are expensive, but you know what? I don't want to feel like poop anymore. All these and the enzymes things, all 4 of these, he put me on all 4 of these, and because of this, I have went from feeling like, and these are all natural things, I went from feeling like poop every single day to now it's only down to the week of my period. And, okay, you guys, I'm going to be super real, and TMI, that is this week, okay? It just started yesterday, and I am feeling like a dragon, okay? But he also recommended this other supplement, which one thing that I really like about this doctor is that we communicate through, he has like a Google Doc form, and I hadn't checked it in a while, and he had told me at the appointment, when I told him, like, I'm really feeling the horror, like really bad the week before and the week of my period, he was telling me that there was someone who was just telling him about a supplement for females for during that time, and then he would get back to me about it. And then actually this week I looked on the Google form to go and reorder some of these things, and I noticed that he put it up there. So I ordered that. So I will update you guys how I feel when I take this other one. I am so excited because I hope that it's going to help me through this time, because I'm telling you, I crave like chocolate like a mad person, and I crave caffeine, okay? During my period, I really crave caffeine. I want to drink coffee and eat chocolate. Coffee, chocolate, coffee, chocolate. And it's like so bad. The temptation is so bad, I cave in, okay? I was doing really good, but this week, no, not at all, okay? So yeah, that is pretty much everything. If you guys want to know anything else, leave me a comment, and I'll try my best to respond, or I'll make another video. So I hope this answered any of your questions, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, have a blessed day.